Hey guys, what's going on? Coming at you with a Thursday morning video. So I just want to talk about basically the CPI data that we got yesterday. It was, needless to say, I have mixed thoughts on it, to be honest. So I'll explain to you why I think that. I'm just going to go over some really vague key things that were in the report. I just read through it myself. I was just noting some things upstairs and just really trying to figure out what's going on and what my thoughts are long-term, short-term, and basically how I'm going to handle this market. So analysts thought it was going to hopefully come in. The projection was 8.1% inflation annually. It came in a little higher than expected, 8.3%. So obviously the report last month was 8.5%. So I did say yesterday's video that I did think we were going to go down in inflation, and we hit the peak the month prior, which we did. I mean, we went down 0.2%, which is great. So inflation maybe possibly hit the inflection point and is going down. However, it's not going down as quick as analysts predicted. So just diving into a little bit more, Jerome Powell in his last Fed meeting was speaking about how core inflation is really important in the report. So core inflation removes food and energy. So obviously with the war in Ukraine and Russia, gas prices have gone insane. Obviously wheat and food prices have gone also up too. So core inflation removes those two pieces out of the report, and analysts thought we were going to come in at 0.4%. We came in 0.2 hotter at 0.6%. So that's what really freaked the market out, as removing those two things aside, which is what everyone is looking at as far as headlines like gas and food prices. We're still coming in a little hot. So if you dive into the report a little deeper, public transportation, right, and airlines. So these are in the core reading, and they were up 23% annually, basically. I think public was a little less, but airlines were 23%. So if you do the weight of those two things into the core, they're in the core CPI report, it actually adds roughly 0.2% of the core. So if you look at basically what we missed annually, we missed by 0.2. So basically it was kind of a shock to, the analysts that, airlines and public transportation are up. Now, what does this say? This basically says to the market that the consumer still has a lot of money to spend. If you're traveling in any way, you have excess money to spend. So what's the Fed trying to do? They're trying to get down inflation. How are they going to get down inflation? They're going to do what they can control, and that's raise rates. So the Fed made it very clear last week that they were going to raise half a point the next two meetings, June and July. So now people are, that's July, June and July, half point each one. So now people are freaking out, being like, oh my God, is inflation really under control? Is the consumer going to spend like this all summer? Is the Fed going to Paul Volcker us and just do an immediate 1% hike to really stop people from spending? There's a lot of panic, fear, what if, speculation, stuff like that. So basically my thoughts are the Fed's going to stick to course. Jerome Powell's pretty forward unless there's a major event that changes things. So I think he's going to stick to the half point in June, half point in July. I do think airlines inflation annually will go down off 23%. I think people are just really antsy out of the house, travel. A lot of things opened up, and people just don't really care if they're spending money to get out and do something. Some people waiting 2-3 years to just travel, and some people live for it. So I kind of get why prices are up a little right now. I do think that the market took this extremely negatively. It's mainly a short-term fear thing. I do think we hit peak inflation last month, and I do think it will continue to go down. That's my opinion. I do think airlines and public transportation will go down. I think the China lockdowns will relieve over the next couple of weeks or months. I do think, with those two things, really the Fed sticking its course, half point, inflation going down next month, these two key components that made the core hot come down. And last month, the core was 1.2%. So if you look at the difference, it's down half. So that's a big change annually. So I feel good about the market, even though it had a very, very bad day. It broke that 0% fib line in the QQQ and SPY. So now you can't even trade off that. It seems like all, hell broke loose basically in the market. So There's recessions talk. I think we're in one now. That's my opinion. I think we're gonna, we have tough comps from last year. We had stimulus, we had the world opening up, the vaccine. Like, we have really tough comps to beat Q2 of last year. So I think, that will put us in a recession. We'll probably be in one. My guess is to the end of the year, so probably a 4 or 3/4 recession. But I think the market's pricing in the worst case scenario in all aspects right now. So that's my opinion. So, let me just talk about the indices yesterday. Dow was down 1.01%, S&P was down 1.64%, NASDAQ was down 3.18%. My portfolio got completely crushed. Beyond Meat reported they tanked. Coinbase is falling apart. Voyager's falling apart. Crypto's falling apart. Everything's falling apart and breaking. Any risk on asset or small cap or non-profit companies get destroyed right now. So that's why my portfolio is down 7.76%. New notable record. I think I lost the most money I have in my life today again. So I think I've said that probably 4 or 5 times in the past 2 weeks. So that's just wonderful. So it's kind of like, if we have just an even day, or if I lose even 1 or 2% of my portfolio, I feel like that's a win. It's crazy. So the markets or the indices are on pace for, I think, the 6th or 7th week in a row red. If we continue this Thursday, Friday, we'll see what today brings though. But yeah, so what my plan is, I'm sticking the course. I'm a long-term investor. I'm not panicking. I have 8% cash still left. I did no buying yesterday. I don't really plan on doing buying today. I don't really trust this market, and I'm just being very cautious with my 8% cash. I'm happy with most of my positions. They're down double digits, almost all of them at this point. But I'm gonna wait for the Fed to kind of U-turn a little, or maybe just stick the course maybe in June. I'm just going to really sit tight for the next 2-3 weeks, unless something crazy happens. Like if the market drops, the major indices drop another 10%. So the S&P is at like 25-30% year to date red, and the QQQ and the Russell 2000 are like 40-50%. Like, yeah, okay, I'm buying. But if it doesn't get there, I'll probably just sit on my hands for a little bit, just collect some cash and kind of see what the market does. I'm not panicked. I'm not freaked out. This is all short-term stuff, and we'll get through it. Obviously, if I do any buying, I'll let you guys know and let you what percentage and what share I bought at or what price. So I'm just kind of sticking the course. I really thought with this number being down, even though the core is missed a little, I thought the market would at least hold the same, maybe rally a little bit. It did actually during open. It got a little, pre-market was excited. Then when the news came out, it went down. Then it kind of like had a quick blimp in the morning. Then it just lost itself throughout the day. So it's kind of my thoughts on the market. I mean, I'm just sticking the course, long-term investing. I'm just investing in companies I believe in long-term. And, I don't think it's ever failed in U.S. history. If you let your plays play out and you believe in the companies and they have good fundamentals, you'll be all right. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. This is why you don't get in the margin. If you're a margin right now, you're getting destroyed. I'm sure of it. And that's probably a lot of the reason why the market's selling off, because people thought the bottom was at the zero fib. We broke the zero fib. Now people are probably getting margin called. People are panicking. People think there's going to be stagflation, even though we just had technically a number that went down. But whatever. They don't believe it. They need to see it again. So that's fine. I think we hit peak last month, and that's my opinion. And I think the Fed will stick the course. And I think it will, over the coming months, will get a little easier. So that's all I got. If you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe, like, comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Till tomorrow, peace.